What's up, people? It's Thursday. I think it's Thursday. Yep, it's Thursday, 11 a.m. Here we are, ready to go, ready to do another show. Look, I spent a lot of time this morning kind of gear myself up to do this because it's, with everything that's going on, there's a big part of me that's like, man, I don't know if I got the time for this. I really should be doing other things, but I really feel it's important to get out here and do this. Do the prayer, like I said, like I've been doing. Talk a little bit about ancient history, past Zenness, Buddhism, Wayne Dyer, that type of stuff, to try to build people's hopes up and give people positive information so that they can get on their day and have a positive outlook and bring hope to this world, because we need it. I know there's a lot of negativity out there. There's a lot of information that's being spread that is misinformation. There's good information. There's just a lot of information that's being thrown out there, and people are panicking. People are fearful. There's a lot of fear going on right now. And we got to eliminate that stuff. Like, I can feel it. I can feel the world energy right now, and it's really honestly, it's taking a toll kind of on my body, taking a toll on my mind, because I can feel that energy being brought around. A lot of people are waiting for hope and waiting for an answer to this whole thing, not just in one country, not in 10 countries, but the whole globe is kind of sitting here waiting for an answer to what's going on with this virus. And it's crazy stuff. It really is. It's like our whole lives are being flipped upside down, being locked into our houses, basically. Yeah, we can still go out. We can still go to the grocery store. We're still encouraged to go for hikes and get ourselves out there, get some fresh air. And, I'm going to say it now, like I've said in the past. It's like, I was just reading how breathing is so important, honestly, to building the alkaline state in our body, which a higher alkaline state will fight off any virus or bacteria, not just this virus, because viruses and bacteria live at a certain pH level in our body, which is a little bit more acidic, no higher than 6.0 pH. So breathing literally will raise the pH in your body. So getting a little bit of exercise is recommended. Doing proper meditation, yoga, any type of exertion of anything, is recommended. Playing a little basketball, playing some baseball, doing soccer, running around, anything rather than just sitting around your house all day, playing video games, watching TV, reading books. I mean, you can do all that stuff too, but please do yourself a favor and share this with other people, is get out there and give yourself a reason to get outside, ground yourself. If you can go outside, it's a nice day. If it's a decent day outside, go outside without socks and shoes on and ground yourself to the earth. That will do wonders for you. I mean, if you haven't ever done that, or you don't really even, if you've done it because you've been swimming, you go swimming, you take your socks and shoes off to do that, but you're not present moment, you're not really thinking about what it's doing to your body. Take that moment, just stand there with your feet touching the ground and just feel how the earth is connecting to you. You'll feel revitalized. It's an amazing thing. It's so simple, but it really is an amazing thing to do that. So that's a strong recommendation that I have, and that actually comes from the Mayo Clinic as well. I've done a little research this morning on what is recommended by Harvard Institute as well as the Mayo Clinic, and those are the things that they have recommended as well. So let's get down to it. Let's do this. I got some things. This is not going to be a long episode. I'm going to keep it short because I got things I got to get to do myself. I'd like to get over and start doing some meditation, doing some more relaxing books. I've got bills and things I got to get to as well, paperwork, lots of things. I mean, the workload never ends. Just because we're, shut down and locked inside our homes or whatever, I still got tons of things I need to be doing. So never a boring day here. So let's get to the prayer. I want to get that started. So again, just think about, what you're thankful and grateful for today. Keep that in mind. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And that is the proper way of breathing, according to studies, meditation, yoga, all that stuff, exercise. You breathe in through your nose and you exhale out through your mouth. And you're supposed to do it in a way that is consistent, not super hyperventilating type of stuff, just a very kind of feels like when you exhale, it should sound like ocean waves hitting the beach, and not overly loud, just very comfortable when you do it. So let's start with the prayer, and so we can reach all those billions of people out there that are struggling right now, or in fear, and need the love sent to them to give them reason to have hope. And Lord, we thank you for all the blessings that we have today. Thank you for the roof over my head, the food on my table, my wonderful, sweet, wonderful, loving children who are still doing so well through all of this, and are really being positive influences in this world, and helping around the house with dishes and laundry, and really have grown and stepped up to the plate during a time when I've needed them most, because there's a lot of work to do, and there's always a lot of work to do. And it's always nice having a helping hand. So thank you for them. Please send all the love and blessings from my family to the families out there that really are struggling right now and need a lot of help and need a lot of faith and a lot of hope. We are going to get through this. We will be okay. And we just need your helping hand to guide us. We need to see the message from you that you are here with us, and you will send us the power and the love and the energy that we need to give us the strength, the power, and the courage to continue on. We will do this, and we will get through this. Amen. Hey, God bless my family, and God bless your family. We are going to be okay. We really are. We got to sit tight, hold tight, flatten the curve, like a lot of people are saying, and we will be fine on the other side. So a couple things. First of all, I've got my Zen book, which is really interesting. I love this book. I just got it from my mother. And I've been just it's got little short excerpts. If you can see it, every time there's the 3 dots there, that's the end of the lesson. And it's really cool little lessons. And I'm not sure where this thing came from. I actually haven't even researched where the author is or anything. But there's 2 short little lessons here that I wanted to go over. That one of them I've heard a lot. And the other one I heard for the first time this morning when I was reading it. So let's do this. The master Nanin had a visitor who came to inquire about Zen. But instead of listening, the visitor kept talking about his own ideas. After a while, Nanin served tea. He poured tea into the visitor's cup until it was full. Then he kept on pouring. Finally, the visitor could not restrain himself. "Don't you see it's full?" he said. "You can't get any more in." "Just so," replied Nanin, stopping at last. "And like this cup, you are filled with your own ideas. How can you expect me to give you Zen unless you offer me an empty cup?" That's so true. So true. It's so important to not try to force yourself into any situation and force your knowledge and your information on other people. It's so much more important to listen. And when we start doing that, and we start communicating in that way where we're more intent on hearing the other person, we are opening ourselves up. We are opening our heart up to other people. And that's how we share love, is by opening our heart up to listen, not opening our heart up to speak. Speaking is just really a reply that we have based on the conversation that we're having, is removing the thoughts from our mind of the things that we really want to say. Like, I really have something to say, and it's really important, and it's just let it go. It's just like my show yesterday. Stop trying to grasp onto the water. Stop trying to hold the water so tight that you are determined to share it and spread it. Just allow it to go. Allow it to sit in your hand and rest. There's actually a very interesting book, a children's book called My Mouth is a Volcano. You can look it up. It's pretty interesting. But it's that same thing where the kid in the book is so excited to share his opinion and share his voice and share what's going on in his mind that he can't help himself to explode that information out of him. When other people are talking or when other people are trying to explain something, he ends up interrupting them. And so the book is called My Mouth is a Volcano, because it's just exploding out of him because he can't help but talk and say something and interrupt people. So it's so important. That lesson is so important today from Zen. I mean, it's related, because it's just, don't be so anxious to use your voice and say something over somebody else. Just sit there and listen and speak when the time is right. Allow that person to vent, and that is opening your heart to the other person. So the next one here, which is interesting, here we go. A master was asked the question, "What is the way?" by a curious monk. The master replied, "It is right before your eyes," said the master. "Why do I not see it for myself?" said the monk. "Because you are thinking of yourself," said the master. "What about you? Do you see it?" replied the monk. "So long as you see double, saying, 'I don't,' and 'you do,' and so on, your eyes are clouded," said the master. "When there is neither I nor you, can one see it?" replied the monk. "When there is neither I nor you, who is the one that wants to see it?" And that is the truth to a lot of things. It is not whether we see it or not, it is whether we want to see it. And that is how the world exists in any form, because we know what we know. Our knowledge is our knowledge, and is knowledge that we have attained over time. And when we are confronted with information that contradicts our beliefs and our knowledge, are we desiring to see more, or are we closed off to that new information because we've never seen it before and we've never heard it? So it cannot be real. It depends on how open we are. Are we an empty cup or a full cup of knowledge? I prefer to be the empty cup and to be filled with as much information as I can attain in the life that I will live. Moving on to the Wayne Dyer of the day. I absolutely love this book. It's so good. It's so good. If you ever have a chance to get this book, do yourself a favor and get this book. It's fantastic. Change your thoughts, change your life. So this is the 4th verse. Wayne Dyer calls it living infinitely. The Tao is empty, but inexhaustible, bottomless, the ancestor of it all. Within it, the sharp edges become smooth, the twisted knots loosen, the sun is softened by a cloud, the dust settles into place. It is hidden, but always present. I do not know who gave birth to it. It seems to be the common ancestor of all, the father of things. As Wayne Dyer describes here, the Tao is the source of all life, yet it is empty and limitless and cannot be constrained, quantified, or measured. This is where science fails on describing the universe, God, Taoism, the Tao itself. It cannot be defined. This life-giving energy of creation provides a profound source of joy that's accessible at all times. If you live from an infinite perspective, you'll relinquish the idea that your only identity is the physical body in which you progress from birth to death. In your totality, you're an infinite being disguised as a person existing in the world of sharp edges and twisted knots that this verse refers to. Coalescing within and around you at all times is the invisible life-giving force of the Tao. It is inexhaustible. It is bottomless. It cannot be depleted. This fourth verse of the Tao invites you to consider rearranging your thoughts about who you are. It seems to be saying that cultivating an awareness of the infinite aspect of yourself is the way to tap into the limitless source of creative energy that flows through you. For example, you may want to help less fortunate people improve their day-to-day existence, but you don't believe that you have the time or energy to do so because of who you are and what you presently do. As you relax your hold on the idea of yourself as the job you do or the life you're living, and seek to acquaint yourself with the limitless creative energy that's a part of you, the time and energy you require will appear. And that's answers everything that I have been questioning myself on today. And over the last few hours, 24 hours to 48 hours, because I have felt myself that maybe I'm not ready for this at this time because I have other things that I need to be doing. But there is always time. We make time for the things that are important to us. What takes time is setting up this type of thing for myself, to have the mind space, to sit here in front of this camera and talk to you and give you the message that I want to give, because I want it to be a good message. I want it to be the message that is powerful and gives you hope and gives you joy and makes you smile and gives you happiness, especially in a time of need, especially at a time when people are struggling, when we are all struggling inside. I am not immune to that. I am not immune to the struggle. I just have learned how to deal with it. In years past, it would have crippled me, and I would have been unable to get myself up from my bed. I would have been struggling to take care of my children. I would have struggled to eat. I would have had too much stress and too much anxiety to proceed forward. And I would never have done videos like this. I would have given up. In fact, I never got started, which is why I didn't start until recently. And today I still have the strength because I've studied things from Wayne Dyer and Taoism, from Zen, and the things that I am teaching you today, because they have given me strength, made me realize that I am more than just the body, the physical body that I am in, that I am infinite in this world, in this universe. It is not just this world, it is beyond this world. And that is the Tao. It is the thing that you may touch, but also not touch. It is limitless. So the other two things that I would just like to cover today revolve around this virus. I don't want to talk too much about the negative part or aspect of this, so I'd like to stick just to the positive aspect of it. For one, I'm going to go to the worldometers.info website that lists the number of deaths that have occurred recently, where we stand. The USA has 30, saying right here, plus 38 new deaths. The current percentage of deaths is around 2.1%, 2.2%, which is an increase over the last few days. According to the stats here, Italy has no new deaths, which is interesting. France has no new deaths. Turkey has no new deaths. Spain is struggling with 616. The UK is struggling with 569. China has +6 with plus 35 new cases. And I think that's kind of a positive outlook from China because of where it started. They have kind of, if you will, flattened the curve, but even more so Italy. Italy has no new cases and no new deaths. So that's a promising thing. And what's really intriguing to me is that 95% of the cases of people who tested positive for coronavirus are mild condition, and that 5% are in serious or critical condition. That 5% of serious critical condition is the same as the death percentage of about 5%. So I find that to be fascinating information, that 95% of people that get this have very mild symptoms. And the people that are of most concern are in the 5% of serious condition to death. It's so interesting to me. I mean, just looking at the data, again, death is not something that I'm fond of. Nobody is fond of. It's, we are here to live. But we have to be a little bit realistic and look at the numbers and to be able to assess those numbers based on to make decisions and on how we respond, because we can eliminate fear by looking at statistics. Again, I will say, if this was the bubonic plague, we would be a lot more concerned than we are right now. And we're pretty concerned right now. And that's fine, because yes, people are dying, and this is not an enjoyable time for anybody, especially because we're afraid of what could be. The uncertainty is the fear, not knowing if the next person could be us. And so it's, again, take precautions and take care of yourself and protect yourself. This is why I have the water machine, and this is why I try to tell other people about the water machine, because it's there to help us. And that's why, I'm here to help people too, because I believe in this. What's happening, it led me to the Mayo Clinic to find out what people are being treated with to deal with this virus. Of course, we don't have an exact answer, but it's so interesting. It's like we're reinventing the wheel on health. And it's like I said yesterday, we can make rockets take off and land by themselves, but we can't figure out how to be healthy. And that's so bizarre to me. I mean, clearly, the food that we have in our society and smoking cigarettes and all the unhealthy things that we do lead up to reason to be concerned for contracting the virus and potentially dying from this virus. So if we were to be smart about it and be a little bit healthier, make healthier choices, then we wouldn't be as concerned. And to me, that's the responsible thing to do. And we are paying now for irresponsibility. I don't care whose fault it is. We could we could go the globe over and come up with somebody to blame, or many people to blame, many organizations to blame. We could blame ourselves, really, is what it comes down to, because we are making the choices. If we don't buy the crap food that we are being served, or that is being served, then those businesses go out of business because we're not buying their food. They can't make money. They can't survive because we will refuse to buy their food. But we're not doing that. We're continuing to go to McDonald's. I mean, even right now, today, I can go down and drive past a McDonald's, and there's 2 McDonald's within 3 miles of each other, and it's packed, and there's people in the takeout line. And it's like, this food isn't going to make you healthy. It's going to make you sick. And then you're going to also be at risk for this virus. It's really that simple. And so I went to the Mayo Clinic to look over what people are being treated, what the recommendations are for treatment for this. And this is what it says: coping and support. It's common to feel fearful and anxious during the COVID-19 pandemic. You're probably worried that you or those you love will get sick. You may be concerned about taking care of yourself or others who are ill. During this time, remember to take care of yourself and manage your stress, which is not an easy thing to do. Managing stress is one of the hardest things to recover from. I can tell you from firsthand knowledge of that. And I'm sure a lot of you can say the same thing. Managing stress is very difficult, which is why I bring you the Zen, the prayer, and Wayne Dyer and Taoism, because those are ways to cope with your stress, to realize that there's something greater than ourselves that is looking over us, that's watching over us, and that is something that we can call upon for help to deal with those stresses and anxieties and things like that. Because really, that anxiety is based on a fear of what may or may not happen, of the uncertain times. That is a futuristic event. What is happening right now? You're watching this video. You're doing whatever, drinking your tea, drinking your coffee, whatever it is that you're doing. That is where you live right now. And if we are to live in the future, that is where fear lives. If we live in the past, that is also where fear lives. Do not be fearful and do not overstress yourself. So that's what they're saying here at the Mayo Clinic. It says, eat healthy meals, get enough sleep, get physical activity as you're able to, such as using exercise or yoga videos. If you're healthy, go outside for a walk. Try relaxation exercises such as deep breathing, stretching, and meditation. Avoid watching or reading too much news or spending too much time on social media. Connect with friends and family, such as with phone or video calls. Do activities you enjoy, such as reading a book or watching a funny movie. If you're ill with COVID-19, it's especially important to get plenty of rest, drink fluids, and let your doctor know right away if your symptoms worsen. These are nothing, all of these things that the Mayo Clinic has listed are all things that I have talked about from the very beginning, is that we need to eat fruits and vegetables. We need to drink fluids. Getting monster drinks or energy drinks or sodas or even bottled water isn't the answer. You need to get fruits and vegetables. You need to drink water from your tap instead. If your tap water isn't healthy, then of course bottled water is your only avenue. Drink lots of it. But to me, the amount of money that you're spending buying bottled water, you could have one of these water machines. And that's what's so sad to me, is that you're already spending the money, if not more. And it's the cost on the environment on top of it. And it's not anywhere near the benefits of this water. See, this water is like eating 91 oranges, like eating 42 avocados, like eating 5 quarts of blueberries. And your body has to process it yet. 1 glass of this water is that. You can't get water like that anywhere. Essential water is the only thing that comes close. And that water is spiked with baking soda to raise the pH of the water. So you're already spending the money on trying to drinking bottled waters and eating fruits and vegetables when you have all of those things in one machine. Plus the machine has a sanitizer that is better than bleach, ammonia, and hand sanitizer. It refreshes your cells. That is the purpose of the water. It's electrified water. So you're absorbing it quickly, and it's refreshing your cells, and it's full of antioxidants. That's the best you're going to get. It's the best thing out there. And you're already spending the money on other things. So that's my pitch to you, is to think about it, break it down. Now's the time to do a budget and see where you're spending your money and seeing if you can afford one of these things, because I can almost guarantee you that you can. I'm super blessed to have one. My mother just got hers. It's a blessing that she has hers. She got it right before this whole coronavirus situation hit. And my kids go there every day. So they get to drink the water all the time, either at my place or at her place. And they use hand sanitizer all the time. They don't have to wash their hands from the sink using soap, which is super beneficial right now because my eldest son is dealing with a wart issue, which means he's wearing these bandages to kill the warts, which makes it very difficult for him to wash his hands. He changes his bandages every 2 days. So for 2 days, he doesn't get in the bath or the shower because he can't get his hand wet. So in order for him to wash his hands, he has to have some sort of mechanism or method that he can properly wash his hands without getting the bandages wet. Well, fortunately, we have a machine that produces the hand sanitizer that I put into a spray bottle. And all I do is spray his hand with the spray bottle, and it kills bacteria better than bleach, ammonia, or hand sanitizer. So we are very lucky to have this thing. But it's not a thing that was unaffordable. You can afford it too, because you're already spending the money. So anyway, you guys have an awesome day. I'm going to end on that. You have an awesome day. Have a blessed day. I hope this message gives you a lot of positive hope and encouragement to get you through your day. Remember the Wayne Dyer teachings and the Zen teachings. Open your heart and be open to others and listen to others. You can reach me at logicalhippie@gmail.com or check out my Facebook page at Light News to keep up to date on what's going on and what I'm talking about each day. So you guys all have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow, because I'll be here. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up because we need this. People need this. Have a great day.